Hello again, everyone. Today I'm going to be trying to fix an oil leak on our Nissan Murano, and I have it in the garage here and about ready to lift it up and see if I can find the leak. Pretty sure it's leaking at the oil pan, but we'll know more once we get it up on the lift. Okay, here's the oil pan right here, and you can see there's oil on the frame, and this pan, from what I read, has no gasket, just has sealant that was put on at the factory, and this looks like it's just leaking around the edge of it there. I'm pretty sure it's leaking right in here on this side and around the front there. It's really oily at those places, so we're going to drain the oil and pull this pan off and put a new gasket on it and see if that'll stop the leak. So these are 10mm bolts around the pan here. I'm just going to loosen all of them up. I think there's 10 of them total. Then we'll take them out one at a time, and then hopefully the pan will just come off with no problem. I have the bolts loose, so now I'm just going to take them out one at a time. They're about an inch long, probably, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Probably have to prise it off, but just in case it was to drop down, and I've got a bolt on each corner to kind of hold on to it. But it looks like it's going to be stuck, so I know a lot of folks put on a brand new oil pan when they do this, but most of the time the ones that have to be changed are rusty right in here, all rusted out. Well, this pan looks fine. It doesn't look rusty, so I'm hoping it's okay and we can just put a new gasket on and everything will be all right. So all of the bolts are out now. Well, now they are. All the bolts are out. There was 10 bolts. I'm going to take a screwdriver, just kind of prise right in here, see if I can pop it loose. It is really tight. That sealant they put on at the factory is pretty good stuff, apparently. This may be why some fellas put on new pans. You don't want to bend this up trying to get it off. Wow, that's a lot tighter than I thought it would be. I'm just going to take my time and keep working my way around it. Hopefully it'll pop loose. Well, I got it off, and you can see it's just I guess silicone based sealer that they put on it at the factory. I'll have to scrape all of that off, but otherwise the pan, you know, I don't see anything wrong with the pan. So hopefully a new gasket will take care of the problem. Here's where the pan goes. You can see the screen for the oil pickup. I have to clean all of that off before I put the new gasket on and the pan back on. This stuff is really tough, very, very rubbery. Not too bad, but hard to get the inside of it out, but I don't know about getting it off the surface of it. Another thing I did notice when I pulled the pan off, even though I had let it drain for a couple of hours, this was still full of oil down in the bottom. There's probably 1/4 of a quart maybe. So unless you had the vehicle at a angle, you know, where the oil would run back, it'll never drain all the old oil out. So I don't know if that's a okay thing or not. Did notice that. Well, I'm starting to see why a new pan might be a better idea. Because when you try to scrape this, it is tough to try to get it off. And I'm afraid if I don't get it off, the new gasket won't seal good. So I don't know, I might try a wire brush just to see if it would eat into it. Don't know yet. Well, it's just going to take a while, so I'm going to work at this and we'll check back later. Well, got the pan cleaned off. Took a lot of scraping and wire brush, but got all the old gasket material off. And the pan looks fine. It's no rust on it, so hopefully that'll work. And here's the bottom of the engine block where the oil pan fastens. Got it, I scraped it with a razor blade and then went back with some sandpaper and just cleaned it off real good. So we'll get the gasket put on and get it all put back and see if that stops our leak. Got the gasket, some Permatex we're going to put on it just for safety. Also have a new oil filter and of course some oil. We got this is Castrol high mileage. So we're going to change the oil while we're into it, of course, because all the old's drained out, so it'd be a pretty good idea to put some more in it. Here's the old oil pan and the new gasket right here. It's right like that. And we're going to put some Permatex around it and on the top too before we put it back on the car. Time to put all the bolts back in the pan and tighten them up. When I put them in, I did, once I got all 10 put in, then when I tightened, I went in a crisscross pattern. Started at one end, then the next end, back and forth until they were all tightened up at the proper torque. Yeah, we got the oil pan back on. And there's the new oil filter. So we're ready to, we'll put that fastener back after we check for oil leaks, right there. So we're ready to let it down and put some oil in it. See what we got. We were just finishing filling up the oil. Hose 4.9 quarts, so we're putting 5 quarts in it. I don't think that extra 1/10 of a quart's gonna make any difference. So we got the oil topped off. So now we'll start it up, let it run a little while, and take it for a drive, see if we have any leaks. And I actually have already started it. And while it was on the lift, I let it down, put the oil in, started it, let it run, and then raised it back up. And I don't see any leaks at all. So we're going to take it down the road now and get the temperature up real good, and then we'll pull it back in the garage and look under it again, just to be sure. Well, we took it for a test drive, checked it again, there's no leaks, so I think we're okay, like a job completed. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, and we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel. Thanks.